Hi, it's Erica again today. So today is Lauren's first birthday. And then on Saturday is Oakley's first birthday. So this week is super crazy. And on top of that, AJ gets home from football camp today. He's been there for 3 days. Willow and Eva have volleyball camp this week. Yay! Fall sports starting early. We love our sports here. We are a public school family because we live in a really small town, and I feel like they get a pretty good education. I know all of the teachers and all of the, I feel comfortable. The kids are, my one daughter's like 15, there's less than 15 kids in her class. So, pretty good school. But getting back on the birthdays and the craziness. Journey's team, her softball team, they're 6U. Is undefeated, and they go on to play tonight for their tournament and see who becomes the tournament champions. No. So, okay, that's a whole different thing. We are on its birthday. We make a birthday dinner for each kid. It used to be that I made them. Now we're having kids who are wanting stuff that I don't usually cook. I don't make pork chops. That's not my cup of tea. My husband makes pork chops. So, the pork chops will be made by him for Oakley's birthday on Saturday after the party. I, though, do make chicken and noodles, and that's one of Lauren's favorite things to eat. She is dairy intolerant, possibly a dairy allergy. I can have just a tiny bit of milk in my coffee, not much, because otherwise she'd end up with major issues. But I space it out where I don't know if she's not getting it with my milk or what, or if it's just enough, because I just put a splash in it. So, we make chicken and noodles from scratch. I have done the Amish. I have done the REAMES brand. They're frozen, but those all cost a lot. But I do use those. We use the Amish noodles with beef usually, because that's just what I prefer, and the R-word ones, I don't know. I always get told I pronounce them wrong, so I'm not going to say it. With chicken. I make up stock and freeze up shredded meat when I'm about ready to have a baby, or I know we have a lot of stuff coming up. So that's one thing we do. Well, I have shredded chicken and stock already made up in the freezer. The shredded chicken has broth in it. It is thawing in the sink. And my broth, I freeze the broth because sometimes you just need a little bit of broth. I freeze it like this. This is bone broth. I take my bones, put them in the Instapot. I don't know if I've done a bone broth video. I'll have to go back and check if I have. But I put it all in the Instapot with some veggies if I have veggies or whatever. Put water, splash of vinegar to help break the bones down. And that's how I make bone broth. Bone broth has a lot of amazing benefits. I'm not going to go into that because I'm not a doctor. But if you've got gut issues, let me tell you, eat some bone broth. And I'm not talking the broth that comes in the little cans. That's not bone broth. That is not. So, okay, back off my tangent of health and all of that. It's a birthday. We do a birthday dinner. I'm going to do noodles. I've had a request for me to start sharing more large family meals and that kind of stuff. So, let me grab my bowl. This is our Bubba bowl. It is a 13-quart bowl, and this is what I make noodles in, and this is what I mix up casseroles in. They have bigger bowls, and Jim Morrell uses one of those bigger bowls. Oh, my birthday was in June. My mom always sends me money, and I bought myself a little cute plant. We named him Fred. He lives in my kitchen. Fred is a fern. And we love Fred. So, sorry, kind of crazy. I am silly. I love my plants. I'm a crazy plant hippie Christian. So, okay, back on the noodles. I bought a bunch of flour. I don't normally buy gold medal flour, but last year it was either $1 or 50 cents at Walmart, and I bought a bunch. We are on our last, it was right before COVID shut down, and the date on it is May 20th of 21. So technically it's expired, but it was in the freezer and properly sealed up in a Ziploc bag, all of that. So it is still good. I'm down to my last 3 bags of that. And actually this is, after tonight, it'll probably be 1 bag. But, so we're going to make our chicken and noodles with that. And I'll start buying Aldi's flour again until I see a good deal. So let's get started. Oh, oops. This 13-quart bowl comes from Sam's Club. It's amazing. I love it. This is a meal that I will add more water. I will add some either chicken bouillon or something besides what is in this because it won't be enough for our family. I use this big pan from IKEA. And I don't know how big it is. Here's so big pan. This is what we cook all soups in. So, okay, let's get started. Now for our chicken noodle, or our noodle dough, I guess. You can make this in a lot smaller batch. I make it in a big batch because we have a big family. But we will do 8 cups of flour. And then I will season that up. I forgot to put the wax paper on my 6. Oh! 7. This doesn't have to be exact. 8. Okay, that's 8. I should have put the wax paper down so it would catch the extra flour. But that's okay. And then you'll break the 8 eggs. You'll season this with garlic powder, onion powder, and salt and pepper. Okay, so I pulled up my hair because it's hot. We turned off our air conditioning because it was supposed to be really cool the last few days. And I should probably be turning the air conditioner back on, but I just haven't had time yet. Today, like I said, is a busy day, but here's our mound of dough. Now what we do, I added water to that, and that's just an eyeball to check for the texture. I don't measure. I'm sorry. I'm a bad home cook to teach people how to cook. My kids are learning though my way because they just sit here and watch and eyeball with me. They'll come and ask me, is this enough, Mom? And that's how we learn here. I don't know if people actually, like, if that's an old school way. I know that I hear people saying, well, my grandma used to do a pinch of this and a dash of that. But here in a few, we got to go and pick up a prescription, and nobody's sick, normal meds. And then also go get a sponsorship picked up for cheer. Yes, I have 2 cheerleaders. I believe one's going to do dance team this year. We have just a busy school year. This is how I grew up eating chicken and noodles, both of them, and beef and noodles and any other meat noodles. both my grandmothers were amazing cooks. My mom was a good cook, or is a good cook. My grandmothers, all of them, great grandma made these noodles. Everybody made these noodles. I remember my dad's mom, them being laid out on the table in the middle of her kitchen growing up. We lost her this last year. I actually lost all three of my remaining grandparents in the last year and a half. So don't want to start crying. So I'm going to stop talking about that. So take out, this is probably a meal I should be wearing an apron for, but take your pizza cutter. This is the best way. If you have a KitchenAid and you have a noodle thing, you can do that. I just haven't purchased one, and I have 2 KitchenAids. I just haven't purchased the noodle maker. But you just cut them as thin or as thick as you like. I like them thin, and part of the kids like them thin. Kenny likes them thick, and some of the kids like them thick. So I kind of do a mix. I don't do uniformed. We're not Campbell's soup. We are an imperfect family. And so my noodles are going to be imperfect. So yeah, we'll cut these up and make them into noodles. And that will be, and then after that, oh, you just fell in the noodles. After that, we'll just take and kind of tear them apart and move them around so they don't stick together. And then let them dry until it's time to put them on the pot. Woo! Gotta have a little excitement. I'll show you the finished product later with the noodles in the pot. I'll show you how we mix them up and make our noodles. We'll come home. I'll get potatoes peeled up and mixed in with this. Not mixed in with this, in another pot next to it, because we'll have mashed potatoes on the side or underneath, because you gotta have mashed potatoes with chicken and noodles, or at least that's my opinion. But we'll have those mixed up. The flour is to keep them from sticking on the wax paper. I don't know if I told you I put wax paper down. Yeah, we put wax paper down. You will not need this much flour if you're a family of like 5. I don't know how much your family eats, but you'll just kind of go off of that. I think my mom only did 1 cup of it with us growing up. And it also depends on how much meat you have. This is a great way if, say, money's tight and you need to stretch and you have flour. Flour's fairly cheap. And you have eggs. You have a little bit of seasoning in your thing. And you have a whole chicken. That makes perfect broth. Make up the broth and mix this all up, and you can have a great hearty meal for fairly cheap. Chicken and noodles are as expensive as you make them. This is how we like them, and this is how, that's how they'll sit and dry in our house. And so I'll come back later and show you the pot with everything in it. Dinner is done. We got mashed potatoes made with butter, because the butter doesn't affect her, and chicken broth, and then chicken and noodles. The yumminess. This is birthday dinner, and that is enough food to feed a family of 11, plus 12 tonight. Okay, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye.